What is going on, guys? Crown Garage. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you why the Talon is not running still. This is a video I didn't really want to have to make, but something needs to be said. And, well, I gave a deadline, and it really wasn't met. It was mostly ignored. Then I gave a nice second deadline, and if I did not say anything, that deadline would have been ignored. So, let's get into it. Okay, so let's just start this off by when this started. So I got a hold of somebody that I was going to have make me an engine harness. Going Haul Tech, sent it, bought a Nexus S2. And so bought my Nexus S2, got it, and got a hold of this certain person. Just call him Jay, unless I decide that I want a name drop, I don't know. So basically, the way that this went down is we kind of came up with a game plan of how we were gonna, build this wiring harness. I had to send him mine to map it out. So that's what I did. I sent him my harness, and well, we had some shipping issues, and I was sent the wrong zip code, so it was wrong that time. And then the second time was my error. Put in somehow the numbers for the address got put off, so it got pushed off. 1 by his error, 2 by my error. So anyway, December 31st of 2024, he sends me a picture. It arrived. This guy builds harnesses out of a different country. I, of course, am in the United States. He is in Puerto Rico. I'd heard good things from all the people that I know with DSMs and whatnot that he's made their harnesses for him. So I was like, sweet, and he was going to do it cheaper than if I did it through like Ohm Racing. And I had heard some things about Ohm that were a little bit more negative than all the positives that I heard about this guy. So basically, I was happy. He got the harness. He needed it to map everything out. And basically, I could very quickly start to tell that he was kind of wishy-washy, didn't respond for long periods of time. And, you're busy, whatever. So, I just kind of brushed it off. I'm not a super combative person or anything. And even making this video, I really wish that I didn't have to. But I really think that people need to know what to avoid. Because just like a negative review on Google or Yelp or something, this is a negative review that's going to be a lot more in depth. So basically, time goes on, and it's just months are going by, and he's telling me I gotta order this, and I gotta order this, and I gotta order this. And that was actually right off the get-go, the main plugs for the Haul Tech and whatever else, that random stuff. And so months start to go by, and I'm like, this is a little bit odd, because, well, basically everybody had told me that he has a really quick turnaround. So I was like, sweet, I want to get this thing running and done. I had the whole interior torn apart, redoing it, because that was after IFO. I have a video where of IFO. I parked my car outside, and it was an absolutely crazy monsoon rainstorm. This is how it looks in here and everything. So, the seats and all the plastic and everything are out. And obviously, if you know DSMs, they have bad like drip rails and door trim and seals and stuff, and You can't buy them new or anything, so you have to buy them refurbished and stuff, and mine are in bad shape, and my carpet got soaked and ruined, so I yanked it out and threw it in the trash, and then redid my entire floor. And I have videos on that stuff. Dry ice, took all the sound deadening out. Just grab it, like this, and set it in here, break it like that. So anyway, that's besides the point. So, you know, we're starting to get to like June or July, and I have receipts for everything if I really wanted to put them in the video, which I may not. I still haven't received my stuff, and obviously being a DSM like Evo fan, owning a DSM, the shootout, the Busher shootout, you know, obviously I cover that like every year. It's local to me. So I want my car. I want to take it to the shootout. Like, I want that to be like my thing. Like, I don't have to race there or anything. I just want to make it there. And I've been going back and forth with this guy for a while. And, you know, he tells me things like, bruh, you know, I assure you, I run my business, you know, good, and you'll get your stuff, you know, soon, and blah, blah, blah. And I sent you sweatshirt, a t-shirt, bruh, whatever, with your original harness that I shipped separately from your engine harness, but shipped them at the same time. Somehow, my original harness doesn't show up. My engine harness finally shows up after like 8 months. I mean, seven months maybe, which is kind of still pretty insane that it takes that long. Because realistically, even if you're busy, if that's your job, wouldn't think that it would take that long. If you're dedicated to, you know, getting quality and quantity like most shops are. If you're doing, you know, super good quality work, but you never get anything done, even if you're charging a quality work price, but you never get anything more than one thing done a month, then you're never going to make any money, you know? So I finally get my engine harness. Bruh. My factory harness never shows up. Well, I sent the whole harness, assuming I would get everything done the same, back. So my starter wire, the 12-volt ignition wire, and the big actual wire and the grounds and stuff, that whole section of cable was with it and everything. When I get my harness, it has a late 2G cam angle sensor, which is the Evo style, which is a housing with an actual little plastic sensor in it. The 95-96 style, which is what my car had, obviously, because the connectors are completely different, are a style that bolts onto the engine behind the timing cover. Didn't ask me, didn't say anything, put the late style one on there. So I had no clue what it was. I asked him, he's like, well, those are better, so just get the right thing. So basically you're spending my money telling me that I should just buy this because it's better. Does that seem a little weird to you people that are watching this, if you make it this far? Because I think that's quite peculiar, really. So I had to spend like $75 on one of those cam angle sensor housings with a sensor and stuff, a used sensor. It has a reluctor that bolts onto the cam. I had to drill and tap my HKS 272 camshaft. My intake cam, just to install this cam angle sensor. Never should have had to do that. And then my oil pressure sensor was in the complete wrong spot. from the factory, they go on the oil filter housing, OFH for short, and it didn't reach. So I told him that. He's like, well, you know, you should really put the sensor on the firewall because it keeps it away from all the heat from the engine. A sensor on the oil filter housing that's on the bottom of the engine that sticks off where air comes under the car and through the radiator and hits it is going to not... How is that not just as good of a solution? They did it from the factory, so the factory designed it that way. Explain to me how that makes any sense. So I had to go on Amazon and buy like a 3 or 4 foot long -3 AN line, adapter fittings, everything else, just to make it work so I didn't have to chop the brand new harness up. Like, money out of my pocket 2 times. And you're trying to tell me that it's better. So that's good reasoning. Okay. So not to mention, this harness, I think in total I spent $1,100 or $1,200 on. Gets to me, doesn't have a drive-by-wire Bosch throttle body connector on it. So I had to buy one. That was another 20 bucks for a good, nice one. That I had to pin myself. So, pretty cool. So now, all that's done, right? Okay, so we can start the car up. Nope. No, we can't. Don't have a starter harness. Either make my own or get another one. Which, shout out to a guy named Chris Duncan. I think I already said this. Sent me one. All I had to do was pay for shipping. I really appreciate you if you see this video. So then, let's see, where am I at now? So we're beating around the bush for months. He supposedly gets a parts car and ships me another harness, allegedly. So I think to myself, okay, you know, that's fine. Obviously, I didn't make the shootout, considering it's January of 2026. The shootout was in September of 2025. I sent my original harness in December of 2024. Didn't get my engine harness till July of 2024. I still need the original harness because it has windshield wiper, brake fluid reservoir level, quite a few other things that I need. And you know what? Some people might say, those aren't necessities. Like, why are you complaining? Because I did not get my harness back. So then, 2 different times, I don't get my harness in the mail. Something's not adding up here. So then the blame kind of gets flipped on me that somehow, some way, my address is the problem. So I screenshotted it every single time I sent it to him. No different. And it was correct. But riddle me this. Excuse me. How does the engine harness show up that you built for me, but my original harness doesn't show up when you ship them at the same time to the same address? Starting to seem a little bit fishy, right? Right. Then sends me a parts car harness. Supposedly never shows up. Starts blaming it on the fact that you used a different courier service or something like that. I'm like, that's great. Refund me my money. So I gave a deadline probably like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, that a certain date I was going to have a harness or I was going to have a refund. I said, or else you're getting plastered on the internet. I don't care. This is it. I'm fed up. I don't have a running car. I've spent thousands of dollars. I mean, a $1,600 ECU, $1,200 engine harness. I'm without an engine harness that now that I finally got a refund, I just had to spend $250 on just to hack it up when I already had one. You see what I'm saying? Like, I already had one factory from my car. So gives me the refund, but the Tuesday deadline that I originally gave passed. I said Friday of that same week. I will have a refund, or I will have a wiring harness. Didn't get my money, didn't get my harness. So finally I texted him and said, where's my money? A little bit later, text back, check in your account. So if I did not say anything, was I going to get that money by the deadline? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So here we are. I basically, posted in forum or a DSM group on Facebook, asked if anybody had one for sale. There was one guy that had one, but unfortunately I didn't, the refund money because of the holiday, Martin Luther King Day, this past weekend, the money didn't get transferred into my account until today, Tuesday. I think it's the 20th of January. So he ended up actually selling it, which, I get it. Respect the hustle. So there was a couple other people that had messaged me, but I specifically need a manual, like 95, 96 harness. One guy had a 97 harness. He was really cool. Shout out to him. And the other guy had an auto harness. Shout out to him too. I appreciate, people reaching out. So I ended up purchasing one from Performance Part Out. It's a, DSM, Evo, Gallant, whatever, part out deal for $249. So I got a $250 refund, partial refund from him. So that's my refund spent. So anyway, basically where I'm at right now is making this video because I feel like it's very important for people to know. If you're in the DSM. Alright guys, so I'm ending the video off here in a moment. I just want to kind of briefly I've already pleaded my case. I don't really think there's anything else I can do to prove that this situation is, I don't really know how to put it exactly. I really think that honestly, this guy, and this might be kind of bad of me to think, but it almost seems to where maybe my harness never even got shipped because how much he was avoiding giving me tracking numbers and stuff. And like I said, I have every receipt possible. I might have over-exaggerated some things, as you saw, like him telling me to mount the oil pressure sensor on the firewall. He did not say to do that. That was somebody else. I just got it mixed up. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't make any sense. Sorry, my cat is over here. He's intruding on the video. This is Winston. So anyway, it just kind of seems like not giving me the tracking number for anything for a while, especially for my harness that he could have chopped up and made money off of, or just sold as a whole, because you can make money off stuff like this. Now the fact that he refunded me my money tells me maybe that's not the case, but at the same time I did tell him you're getting put on blast on the internet, so you're probably going to want to give that back to me. So, I don't know. The whole clip that I filmed was a one take about the situation. That got ended because I was home by myself and somebody got home, so I wanted to end it because I'm weird about filming stuff in front of people. So basically, at the end of the day, I think that you shouldn't go the cheap route sometimes, the cheaper route. Buy it from a reputable company like Ohm, for example. They have a website, they have this, they have that. There's no communicating through somebody on Messenger or WhatsApp or through text or anything. It's you go on their website, you order what you want, and if it comes up screwed up, be like, hey, this is not right, and you're gonna fix it. But in this case, somebody that's in Puerto Rico, I can't just be like, hey, let me just ship this back to you so you can fix it. Like, no. With the whole debacle of how long it took just once he shipped it for it to get here, and then not getting tracking numbers and stuff, I'd probably never have my car done. I've said this for a while now. From now on, I will not have anybody, and I mean anybody for any car whatsoever, make me a custom harness. I talked to a guy at the shootout this year. Shout out Anthony. He's got a sweet DSM. I filmed it at the shootout. It's black 2G with some nice 5-spoke wheels on it. He said, the way that he did his haul tech is he just took the factory wiring harness and made it what it needed to be. There's tons of cool stuff that he did to, make it work, and that is exactly what I will be doing from now on, because I'm not going to deal with this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous that I've even went through this. There's sort of a language barrier. And so a lot of things just don't make sense probably to him. A lot of his stuff doesn't make sense to me. And so it's just a bad situation. And I didn't want to have to make this video, but the fact that I gave that Tuesday deadline, he never even opened my message on Messenger, but exactly probably 5-10 minutes after I sent the messenger on message, he probably looked at it without opening it and saw what it said, at least the beginning of it or something, and then he texted me back and gave me some excuse about how his son was in the United States or something like that, and I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty stuff, but he said he was coming to the United States, so he would come to Ohio and help me install the harness portion that I didn't have. And then obviously that didn't work because he never even messaged me anything about it. And then he's probably not even in the United States anymore, probably hasn't been for weeks. So, through the month of December, I don't think I got a message from the beginning of December all the way up until like after Christmas. So, whatever, it's just unfortunate. And I don't really want to put his name out there, but, I feel like people really should know. Like I said, I think I said before, anybody in the DSM group that saw my post would know. Yeah, so his name's Jose from Puerto Rico. So, just be wary of it. And I would, if you have good luck, you have good luck. Some people did that I knew, and then there are some people that didn't. So, I think I'm going to end the video off here. If you guys really want an in-depth video on like every single message, receipt, possible thing that I have, I will literally screenshot it from front to back and put the entire thing in there. I will do a video like that because I think that people deserve to know. If this video gets, I don't know, if this video gets a decent amount of views, but let's say if this video gets like 20 likes, maybe, I'll just name drop in the comments. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Channel's growing. Videos are consistently getting, you know, from 50 to 400 something views, which is awesome. So, thank you guys for watching another Crown Garage video. And hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you want to get the name dropped in the comments. Or maybe I'll just do a second video and do it anyway. Peace. In audio.